Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris, and this is my channel, Bar911970. Thanks for checking out this video. All right, guys, I want to say a couple of things about what happened today. The first thing I want to say is I can't say, no matter what the information that's been presented in either mainstream media, alternative media, whatever, I can't say what exactly happened to Robin Williams, because obviously I wasn't there, and neither were you. The problem I seem to have, and I see this so much, and people just totally miss the point, is that people say all the time, oh, well, you know, they make a sarcastic thing as, oh, somebody read something on the internet, so it must be true. Well, that can be said also with the mainstream media. Because like I was saying to one of my subscribers, is just because the media reports something does not mean that they can't get it wrong. They got information that they interpreted incorrectly. Somebody made a mistake, or they could be flat out lying. We don't know. The problem I have, and you see this all the time, that mainstream media will put out a story the second something happens and report it in a way that suggests they know exactly what happened the instant the situation occurs. And people don't seem to have a problem with this. And because people like myself and others question it, you should see some of the comments that I had to delete. You know, the funny thing is, and I see this over and over again, you know, people think I have a problem with people who disagree. I don't have a problem with somebody that can talk civilly. But if you have to say things like, oh, are you a moron, are you a jerk, are you an idiot, and stuff like that, and then try and make your point, do people not understand how debates work? And everybody, if you see all the videos about Robin Williams today, everybody is pretty much saying the same thing in their headlines because they want people to view it. Is Robin Williams dies at age 63, commits suicide. Well, unless you were there, the only way you could have that information is because you heard it on the mainstream media. And if you just state it as fact because, oh, well, they said it, isn't that any conclusion? I'm trying to say this the nicest way, but isn't this the way that the media can manipulate people into an agenda? I mean, unless you could honestly say that the media makes no mistakes and they don't lie, then how can you just believe everything they're saying? And again, I'm not saying the Illuminati came and killed Robin Williams, okay? Anybody that said that I said that is that's just crazy. He could have very well committed suicide. Or if you know anything about asphyxiation, it could have been a sexual thing where lots of people die. Basically, from what I understand is, there are people out there who, during a sexual act, right before an orgasm, they'll hold their breath or they'll choke each other or something like that. And sometimes, in the middle of the orgasm, they forget to breathe and die. Now, I'm not saying that's the case. But the thing is, I'm saying it as, these are possibilities. I don't know what happened. And you never hear the media say things like, here's a report, we're not sure about it, so we're not going to speculate. Because if you believe everything that the media says is fact, remember when all those bankers were committing suicide all at once? And one of them supposedly committed suicide by taking a staple gun and killing himself with it. And people wonder why we're so easily led. And again, I don't know how many times I can stress this because people seem to not get it, because apparently most people when they comment, they don't watch all the video. They just comment either on the title or the first 13 seconds and think they know exactly who I am. Is I've never sat here and said, I know what's happening. I never said that I was right and, oh, this is it. But for so many people to get mad at the fact that I'm asking questions shows how dumbed down this society is when they cannot understand that I'm just questioning the official stories. Like when the planes, as soon as they hit the Twin Towers at 9/11, they automatically knew that it was Osama bin Laden. How would they know that? Are people afraid to ask questions anymore? When the situation with the Malaysian plane happened, and it came before the smoke cleared, they already said it was the Russians that did it. The Boston bombing, they already knew it was some teenage kid. They could all be right. Who knows? I wasn't there for any of these events. But how does the mainstream media get a free pass for specifically saying what happened when they weren't there? And again, I'm not saying that's not the case. He could have committed suicide. Yes, he could have been depressed. He could have been on medications. Which, by the way, the mainstream media will not talk about the medications. Which, if it's a sad thing, if you ever look up the side effects of these antidepressant medications, one of the side effects in some of them is possible suicide. And I questioned it because from all the times, I mean, I've been following Robin Williams since I was a kid. And he was always such a happy person. Yes, he seemed very distant. He seemed like he had maybe some problems, but who doesn't? It just didn't make sense to me. Somebody in his 60s at that point. Why would you want to just end it at that point? When you have supposedly all the wealth, all the fame, people love you, and you're not a teenager, you're not a 20-year-old, you're not a young kid. You're a senior, and you decide it's time to end your life? And people got mad at me because I questioned, because I didn't think he would do something like that. And I could be wrong. This is not about right or wrong. It's about questioning things and not believing everything that you hear. You know, there's an old saying that says, tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. And all I'm saying is, why do we, as the society of the masses of people, seem to give the media a free pass? And as soon as they mention something happens, we automatically assume that it's true. And those of us who question it, and I'm not, again, it's not about saying, oh, they're lying, but what's wrong with questioning the story? What happened to communication? Why is it that somebody cannot come on my channel, and I'm not talking about the trolls and haters, they're just idiots and they're lonely people, have nothing better to do, or they get paid to do it because they're paid shills. I don't care about them. I'm talking about the average person who may not agree with what I say, and cannot just say, you know what, here's my point of view. I may not agree with what you're saying, but here's mine, and let's talk about it. Let's create a dialogue. No, it's got to be insults and attacks. It's always kill the messenger. We wonder why the society is going to hell. To me, it's just, I'm glad I don't understand it, because to me, this is supposed to be no-brainer, common sense. If I don't agree with somebody, I should talk to them in a civil way. And you know what? We all make mistakes. Sometimes we're a little hot-headed and we'll say things, but you know what? You man up and you man up for it. You know, there have been times I've said things to people. I've gotten into fights with people on YouTube. It's been a long time. But if I realize I crossed the line and somebody approaches me in a way and saying, you know, what you said was out of line, I'll apologize. Because I realize that sometimes in the heat of moment, we all say things we don't mean, but some people just nonstop attack for questioning. Are we supposed to give up that right? Should we all just comply to everything? Government works perfect. Corporations never steal from us. Politicians are nothing but honest. The news media always has integrity. And they do plenty of journalistic investigations to report on the facts of the issues. Really? And I know a lot of people out there would laugh even hearing that if that was serious. And yet, as soon as you see something on the news, everybody's like, oh, that's what happened because that's what they said. That's why you're watching it on a television. And the people like me are supposed to be the crazy ones. And yeah, I'll tell you, it does. Listening to half the people that I talk to in this world and some of the comments that people leave and some of the emails I get, it can drive you crazy. Because you just sit there dumbfounded by these are human beings. These are people with the capacity to reason. So, I mean, I guess obviously this is one of the rants, but I'm just blown away by the fact that people just automatically assume that because the media says something, that's automatically what the story, what the event was. And they could be right for all I know. But what's wrong with questioning things? Especially how they supposedly know what happened minutes after something happened. I'm going to bed. And I can't wait to see some of the comments. I mean, obviously, my regular subscribers, they know how to talk like human beings. There are plenty of people that subscribe to my channel who have disagreed with me, and I don't have a problem with them because they do it in a way that's intelligent. They use logic. They talk to people like human beings. I mean, just imagine if you were a kid in school and you asked a question that may have seemed silly, and the teacher bawled you out and said, "What are you, an idiot?" Would you ever want to go to that school again? You wouldn't want to go tell your parents. You'd probably go home crying that the teacher who you looked up to insulted you for a question. You know, some of these people, they point a lot of fingers, but they, you know, it must be nice to have your crap not stink. This is Chris. This is my channel, Born on 11/9/70. Like it or not, this is my video, and I thank you for those of you who watched it and will be full of common sense and can actually maybe disagree with what I say, but not have to reduce yourself to name-calling and can actually hold a human conversation. To the ones that have this major problem, get off your high horse. The judgments are just ridiculous. And if you want to believe everything that the mainstream media says, if you want to believe everything your politicians say, if you think corporations can do no wrong, God bless you. Ignorance is bliss, apparently. There's a lot of ignorant people out there. I'm no rocket scientist by any means, but I am by far not one of the dumb people that just have no capacity to think outside the box and just believe everything that I'm told. Because after all, isn't what agendas and propaganda is all about? Sometimes I could have made channels about video games or talked about movies and stuff and never had to deal with this stuff. But it's the right thing to do. It's just, it's not even shocking at this point. I don't know. Maybe it is. Some of the responses I get from people, I'm like, they can't seriously think that way. They can't be that rude and not even see it. I guess it's a game because, you know, when you're on the internet and you hide behind a computer, you be whoever you want. Like somebody said one day, and I thought it was funny, called them keyboard warriors. I like that. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Peace.